Hello and welcome to Amethyst Star Crafting. My name is Jane Ormark and I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And today we're looking at items from the mini catalogue, which runs from not July, runs from August the 3rd to the end of December. And we're looking at a stamp set called Make a Difference. And this stamp set, it says, join us in making a difference. For each Strong of Heart stamp set purchased, we will donate £2.50 to support heart health. So it's a giving back stamp set, which I always think is really good. I try and support causes, anything to do with, heart health. Is really important. We need to keep our hearts healthy. So that's the stamp set that we're going to be using today. And it is on page 5 of the new mini catalogue, which I know all of you will have got now. If you haven't got a copy and want one, then just get in touch and I'll see what I can do. So this is the stamp set. You have an outline image and you have an inside image. And you've got various different sentiments in there. Here for you, you amaze me, stronger than you know, I really like. This one has had sort of mixed reviews. Through struggle comes strength. And these are the ones that I like. You amaze me, stronger than you know, and here for you, I think are really good. So we're going to be using this image because I think that you can do an awful lot with this one. So that's the one we're going to be using today. And I'm going to be making 2 cards which are a different size to what we normally make. So I've been making some slimline cards, and the slimline cards where I'm going to be showing later on in the week. But when you make a slimline card, you always have a piece that's left over afterwards. And those are the pieces that we're going to be making 2 4x4. Sorry, I'm just getting out the block that I need to use, and I think I need to use that one. So when you cut yourself a slimline card, you will always have a piece over. And the piece over is, again, depending, I'm in the UK, so I use A4, but the piece that I've got over is, and I've just cut the base in here, it measures 4 1/8. So 4 1/8 on that side by, when it's closed, 4 1/8. So I've done it as a square one, 4 1/8. So when it's opened up, it gives you 8 1/4, which is the full length of, no, it's not. Ignore what I'm saying, just do the measurements. So we've got 8 1/4 across this side, and it's then scored in half at 4 1/8. and then cut at 4 1/8. So it gives you basically a 4-inch square. You could do it 4x4 if you wanted to. I just wanted to use the whole side. We're then doing a mat, and the mat is going to be 1/4 inch smaller. So just measure yourself 1/4 inch smaller. And then the piece of, and this is Old Whisper White, which is why it's a slightly different colour, but I just had a few sheets of that left, and that's 1/4 inch smaller. So basically it gives us a 4x4, and then we can make our own envelopes for it as well. And I'm sure you know how to make the envelopes. If you don't, leave me a comment below and I might do a video in showing you how to make envelopes of different sizes without using an envelope punch board. So we're going to do 2 different ones today. This is Highland Heather. So that's going to be our background colour. And then I've done another one in Pacific Point. So we can do 2 in 2 different colours. Okay, so that gives us That's that one, and that's, get that the right way round. That's that one there. Okay, so those are our colours that we're using. So I need to take, oh dear, my scoreboard has just gone. I need to take some colours, and so I want to have Highland Heather for this one. I want to have Pacific Point for this one, and we are going to be just using that colour. Sorry, my scoreboard, I had leant up against something and it's just slid on the floor. Okay, so those are the colours we're using, and we're not using any other colour. So if you've got minimal supplies or you're just starting out, it's a really good way of doing it. We're also going to be using a couple of scraps, and we're then going to be using some, and these are just little offcuts. They need to be, what is this? It's 1 1/4 inches in width. So it needs to be about that sort of width. Doesn't really matter on the size. And then we're going to be using 2 different punches. One punch. So we're going to be using the dragonfly punch for one of them. And we're going to be using the, let me just get that one out, which is the Quiet Meadow. We're going to be using the die from the Meadow dies, because it's got a little butterfly in there. But again, you can use whatever you want. So that's the little butterfly that we're going to be using. Use what you've got. You don't have to use the images that I've shown you. I'm just showing you a couple of ideas. So we need to, let's start with, I need a piece of scrap paper as well. So let me just grab a piece of, I've just got a piece of copy paper that I'm going to use as scrap. So we need to start with this image on here, and we are going to be stamping on and stamping off. So let's start with the, let's do the Highland Heather one first. So I'm just moving that out of the way. I'm going to put my scrap paper in underneath. And we then need to take this little scrap piece first, because we're going to ink up the stamp. So we're inking up the stamp well in the Highland Heather, like that. Then we are going to stamp it, because we need to stamp off. So we're going to stamp it onto the scrap, like that. And I am then going to ink it up again, because you will get the line through and we don't want that line. So I'm going to ink it up again. If you had a wider piece of paper, you wouldn't necessarily need to ink it up again, but it's only because I've got a piece this side, so it gives a line. And then we're going to stamp it off once on the scrap, and then we're going to stamp it in the center of the image. So you just get that straight, or as straight as I can. So we've got a nice pale heart in the center. Okay, now while I'm doing that stamping, let me just get my Simply Chamois out, which is underneath my, there we go. So I'm just going to clean this off. and we're going to do both of the cards at the same time, because it's easier to do all of your stamping at the same time and then do your the second part later. So that's the first part, and that's on our Highland Heather. Now we're going to take this one and we're going to do it in the Pacific Point. So again, I need to ink up the stamp, and I always do it this way round when it's quite a solid stamp like this. So you need to just have a little bit on there. Now we need to get another scrap. That's our second scrap. So again, we're going to do exactly the same thing. We're just going to stamp it in on here on our scrap, full strength. And then I can put that to one side to dry. Ink it up again, nearly did it in the Highland Heather. So ink it up again, like that. You can do whatever colours you want, so whatever colours you've got. I just thought I would show you two ways. Again, we're stamping it off once, and then we're going to take our card and we're going to stamp it straight in the centre. Like that. Okay, so that's the stamping part done apart from a sentiment, and we'll do that in a minute. And then I'm just going to clean this off. Now, because it's a large stamp, I tend to take my Simply Chamois out and clean it off with the Simply Chamois, because you can see that I do need to clean my Simply Chamois. They're really good. You just wipe them or rinse them out under the tap. You can put them in the washing machine, people have done, and if you want them to get to be paler, you can do them in a mild sort of bleach, and it will take them out from the pink colour, but it does mean that they are then a cleaner colour. But I tend to replace mine every sort of 6 months or so, I suppose, because it's easier to do that when they get, you know, really pretty grubby. So I'm just going to put this back in its case. There we go. Then we've got that done, and we'll do some sentiments at the end and decide which ones we're going to do. Okay, so now if I take this out of the way, because I don't need those scrappy bits, it then just means that everything is a little bit cleaner for you to see. So we've got the Pacific Point one, and this piece now we are going to take the butterfly, and I'm going to use, it might slide about a bit, but I'm going to use my mini. In fact, it will slide a little bit on the paper, but hopefully you'll be able to see it. And rather than taking it out of the way, I'm hoping that I can just get that in a bit. Can you see that bit on there? Yes. And so the mini's really good for doing tiny pieces. The only thing you need to remember is that you have to stagger your plates. So if you stagger the first and the second one, then we can put this little piece on here, and we can put the butterfly, and I tend to sort of do it at a slight angle. Then we can put this one in underneath, and it should, it's going to slide on here, isn't it? I need to probably take it off a bit. Let's bring it out here a bit. There we go. It's just going through. Unfortunately, I normally do it on without having the grid paper underneath, because it will slide. But we've only got to do this one, so I'm just taking it forward, sliding about all over the place, but I will straighten everything out afterwards. But it's a really good little die cutting machine once you've learnt the trick about staggering the plates. If you try and put them all in together, they just don't go through. So if you try and put them in like that, that distance is too much to go through. So you have to literally stagger them like this. So if you put those two pieces in first at the stagger, then you've just got this one piece to come through, and it goes through perfectly. So yeah, it's a really good little machine. I was a bit dubious to start off with because it was incredibly stiff, but once you know that little technique, and because it's a mini, it's not designed to be as what do we call it, as robust as the larger machines, but it is really great when you're just trying to do little things on camera and you don't want to get the whole thing out. Okay, so we've got this one here. I'm just going to pop it out like that, and then we've got the little butterfly, which is in the same colours, but obviously is full strength and you know, not quite full strength. So if we then put this onto the Pacific Point background like that, and we then take sentiment wise, I like You Amaze Me and I like Here For You, so we'll have Here For You, I think, on this one. So let me just find Here For You. There we go. It's just a little one. And then we'll have You Amaze Me, which must be this one, I think. Yes, that's I don't think I've even used that one yet. So we'll have You Amaze Me. And that can go on the purple one. These are quite good to make a whole little series of. You could probably, don't know whether you get them onto a 3x3. Probably not. Let me just have a quick measure and see on there whether you would get it onto a 3x3. No, you wouldn't. You need to really have it on a 4x4. But you can make a series of 4x4 or the notelets and have them that way. And, you know, they would make really a pretty little set of cards, which I think would be quite good. So is that one going to? Yes, it is. So I'm just going to, on this one, again, I'm using my scraps. So we've got Here For You. Helps if I have it the right way up. No, that's the wrong way up. So we'll put this on here. Here For You. Like that. And I'm still only using one colour. So we want to have things that are, it's all going to be the same colour. And I'm just going to stamp it out on there. Like that, Here For You. And I'm going to use, now this is retired, but rather than me cutting it out, I'm just going to do this because it'll make it quicker. So this is one of our little punches. Really sad when this was retired, but I still use it. And that's the thing, once you've bought things, don't think you have to just put them away and never use them again, because they're not current. You know, use them. And we're just going to put this in across on the top like that, and then we're going to have a couple of little this one I think I'm going to use oh, in fact I've got some of those left, haven't I? Do I know? Let's use what we've got. We're going to use rhinestones for this one, so we're just going to get a few little rhinestones. And let me take my Take Your Pick tool. which is my invaluable thing. Let me close this ink pad up, otherwise it's going to go everywhere. And I'm just going to put, we're just going to have 3 little ones just sort of dotted about. So let's have one. I think I'm going to actually do it inside the heart part. So we'll have one there. Whoops, like that. We'll have one down on, I might do some of them out, some of them in. Yeah, we'll have one down and on here, I think. And then we'll have, you need to try and form a triangle. So we'll have, where's the triangle going to be? I'll put this up there, that up there. We'll have the other one. Oof, I'm dithering, aren't I? Let's just have it out. We'll have it out there, I think. So it just gives a little bit of twinkliness on there. So all I need to do is get some wet glue and some dimensionals. And I want to get the mini dimensionals on this because this really works a lot better with just a few little dimensionals to stand it up. So if I put, let's have this one, and I'm just doing one on, I'm just doing one on the body actually, because then I can just take the wings up a little bit. We'll put this in on here. So I'll have 3 on there. The minis are really good because they do work well with smaller images. So that will work like that. Let me just get some wet glue, put this together. So we can put that one in on here. Get my eye line in so I can have it. I might just be coming off screen, but I want to just try and get this as centered as I can. Oops, that's not quite right, is it? That's better. So put that in on here. Then we'll have the butterfly. Now you can just, if you just bend it just a little bit, you can have it just slightly flying. So we're going to put that in just like that. And then we're going to have the sentiment coming through. Whoops, finger's not working. So we'll have the little sentiment like this. Now you can obviously cut this out, but I know that a lot of us still have this punch, so, and I think that that punch works really well. So that's that one, and then we just need to put it onto, I haven't used up my bone folder on this to give it a nice good crease. So put that in like that. And then we can just put that in on here, and we've got ourselves a nice little 4x4, or as I say, I've cut this at 4 1/8, but 4x4 would be fine. And it is the piece that's left over when you do a slimline card. So I'm just using that, and then we'll put that on there. There we go. And then we've got that one, which is done, which I think looks rather good. Now let's go on to the Highland Heather, because that gives us a different look. So I just need to clean my Here For You up. Oops, give that a quick clean up. There we go. And this time we're going to have the, what's this going to be? You Amaze Me, which is quite nice. So let me just put that one on. I think it'll fit. It should do. Don't know whether it'll fit into the punch, but it does help if I take the backing off, doesn't it? I was wondering why it wasn't sticking. I'll just pop that in there like that. And this one is going to be in the Highland Heather. So again, using the other end of this scrap. Let's move this one just out of the way for a minute. So the other end of this scrap, we're just going to use the You Amaze Me. And I think we might just get it in with this punch. I'm not sure, we'll see. I think we might. Let's have a look. Yes, we will. Just take it in. It's going to just fit. So that's the You Amaze Me. And as I say, you can cut that out quite easily. You can mount it if you want. I just wanted to have it as it was. And this time we're going to use the, so let's get this piece and we can put it straight onto our base here. So this is the little piece of Highland Heather. Pop that on here. Like that. And then on this piece that we've cut out from here, I'm going to do the little dragonfly. And in fact, I might be able to do a couple of dragonflies because it's quite a small piece here. So let's do, and again, I'm just slanting it a little bit. So we have it in the different colours. That's one. And then I might do, let's see if we can get another one. Yes, we can. That'll work quite nicely. So just sort of line it up like that. I wonder if I can get three. Can I get three? I tend to be a bit greedy, don't I? Let's see if I can get, I want the sides of the wings to be, that's fine. Like that. So we've got three of these. I don't know how many we'll use. I might only use just the one, but I might use three on this because that might give it another look. So again, these are the full strength, but it just gives that different sort of shape. And I am going to put a mini dimensional. Now these are very small, so I don't know whether it'll take, will it take a, let me see if it'll take a whole mini in the center. It might just, with a bit of luck. Let's just have a little look and see. Yes, it will. Okay, so I'm just going to have a mini in the center again because it means that I can pop the wings up if I want to. And that one in on there. I'm doing the three. I don't even know if I'm going to use the three, but it means that, as I said, I always have a little scrap box with die cuts that I've cut out, and then I can use them for other things. And then we're just going to take these ones on here. And I think with this one, I'll finish it with, I could finish it with pearls, couldn't I? Because that will give a slightly different look as well. So, and you could make them, you know, really bright ones. You can make them not quite so bright. So this time we're going to have let's have a little look and see if we have our sentiment in first, and then I can put the dragonflies around the side. But as I said, you know, use whatever punches you've got. Any little punch that needs to be something small. You don't want anything that's too big because it's a fairly small image. So again, I'm just going to put that in across like that. And then we can have, let's have one that way. Maybe one that way, and maybe one coming up through in the center. That will work, won't it? Okay, so we have this one coming down. Whoops, got itself stuck. So we'll have that one coming down. I want them all inside the heart because that's giving us the background, isn't it? And then we'll have this one coming up like that at that angle, and then we'll have the last one coming down like this. Okay, so that looks quite pretty, and this time we're going to use, let's use some pearls. So open this one up and we'll have, oh, it's got my finger caught. We'll have some little pearls, I think, this time. Where are my pearls? There we go. So we'll have, oops, this one looks as if it's slid itself out. Now, and this time I am going to keep them right inside. So I'm going to have one down the bottom here. We're going to have one, oops, it's another one that's sliding about. One just in there. And we'll have the other one. Are there any others that are sliding about? Yes. Try and get that one up. Come on. Are you in or are you stuck? I think it's got itself stuck. We'll take another one out. There we go. And we can have the other one just in down there like that. And then all we've got to do is to just put that into our base. And then you've got two very different looking, one very sort of pretty and soft, and the other one which is a little bit more bright and vibrant. And as I say, you can do it in any colours, you know, do it in pumpkin pie or something like that. Really entirely up to you how you want to do it. So take this one out like that. And again, because they're exactly the same size, you can have them top or side. So if you wanted them to have them this way this time, that one in like that, so it comes in on the center. So we've got a top folding and we've got a side folding. So that's a top folding and that's a side folding. But as I say, pretty little cards, just using this lovely stamp set, which is Strong of Heart in the new mini catalogue, and one ink pad. And you can just see how you can get the different tones just with one ink pad. So I hope you've enjoyed that. As always, please stay safe and well. Please be kind, and look forward to seeing you again. Bye-bye.